Right, okay everyone, let's get going. So you'll need to turn your mats lengthways, or it doesn't really matter, you can do it whichever way you want. We're going to start with the Hastasana. So we'll start from the middle of our mat. We'll join the big toes, join your heels together, spread the toes wide apart, and then lift your inner ankles, and then stretch up from the heels, stretch up through the shins. When you get to the kneecaps, feel you press your kneecaps back, so it's like locking your kneecaps, and then draw these thighs up towards the waist. As you draw the thighs up, press your tailbone in towards the front, and draw your tailbone down towards the floor. As you do that, feel that you relax the lower back muscles, and then try and relax the abdomen. We want to feel that we stretch from our belly button area up towards our chest bone. So create space here, and then broaden across the shoulders, draw the outer shoulders back, and bring your shoulder blades together. Press your shoulder blades in towards your front chest, then extend your arms down by your side with your thumb in contact with your index finger, crown of head stretching up towards the ceiling. All the time, take a nice breath in through the nose, back out through the nose. So as you breathe in and out, feel you relax around the abdomen, around the lower back. Then we'll take a breath in. As we exhale, we're going to stretch the arms up. So we'll bring them up to shoulder level. Now when we take them up to shoulder level, we tend to stretch the arms forward, but we want to stretch the fingers away, but draw the arms back. So we draw the outer shoulders back. Again, feel as if we're going to burst our chest through the upper arms. Then take another breath in. As we exhale, take the arms all the way up over your head. So try and bring your upper arms close to your ears, and then draw your hands back. Can't actually see my arms at the moment, but try and keep your thumb in contact with your index finger, and then stretch your hands up towards the ceiling. Keep stretching down your back, so you stretch your tailbone down towards the floor, trying to squeeze your shoulder blades in towards your front chest, and feel then that the weight is centered in the feet. So if you feel all the weight's going on the toes, it means you need to come back a bit. If you feel all the weight is on your heels, then you need to come slightly forward. So you feel balanced. One good way to do that is to lift all your toes up off the floor, and then that should automatically balance the 4 points on the feet, which is one just underneath the big toe towards the outside where the little toe is, and then either side of the heel. And then slowly try to just put the toes back onto the floor without moving in the legs. So feel you don't come forward or go back, and then keep stretching the arms up. Try and feel you let the tummy muscles relax. So let the abdomen relax. Deep breath in and out through the nose. So really long exhalation and a long, slow, deep breath in. Now I know you probably feel the arms are tiring a little bit. Keep stretching the arms up. So stretch the arms up and keep taking nice deep breaths in and out through the nose. And then we're going to take a breath in. As we exhale, rotate your palms of your hand outwards towards the walls or to the sides of the room. Then take a breath in. As you exhale, begin to lower your arms and slowly come down to shoulder level. When you get to shoulder level, still keep your thumb in contact with your index finger. Stretch finger to fingertip, but slowly draw your arms a little bit further back. As you do that, lift your chest bone up towards the chin. So we stretch the chest bone up, but we stretch the tailbone down towards the floor. Keep working the legs, so don't let the thigh muscles drop. Keep pulling them up towards the waist. Relax into the shoulders. Release the tension in and around the shoulder area. And then slowly lower the arms and bring them back down by your side. Try and maintain that action in your frame. I know after each pose I say to you, relax. Try not to do this and let everything go forward again. We do want to learn to try and keep the upper body nice and straight. I'm just going to have a glug of water. Check what I had. I'm pretty sure. Okay. Hope everyone's okay so far. It's warm tonight as well. Right. So we're going to do Uttanasana forward bend. So we'll start with the feet hip width apart. Check you've got equal distance between your big toes and your heels, and then spread the toes wide apart. Lift the inner ankles, and again we're going to stretch up through the legs. So extend from the shins and the calves, lock your kneecaps, draw these thighs up towards the waist. And as you draw the thighs up, you want to feel that you automatically lift up with your chest bone, broad across the shoulders, and then stretch the arms down by your side. Take a breath in, and then as we exhale, we're going to take the arms all the way up over our head. Then we're going to take another breath in. As we exhale, we're going to begin to bend forward. And as you go forward, stretch the tailbone down towards the floor. But try and keep the arms up. So we want to try and keep the back straight if we can. But as depending when we're stiff, that's when we find it hard to maintain this action to stretch through the front of the body, as well as the two muscles either side of the spine. See if you can keep looking up towards the ceiling, stretching the arms. Try and stretch away as much as you can. Ideally, if you can, you're going to try and stretch your hands down to about 2 foot in front of you. If you're stiff in the back and you're doing this sort of pose and up in the air, just try to let the back muscles relax, but feel you stretch up. So I want you to stretch through the front of your body as well as the spine. So we always want to try and stretch the back as much as we can. Try not to curve the upper chest as much if we can help it, but gradually that will improve as you practice. Those that can, if you can touch the floor, see if you can just stretch your fingers to about 2 foot in front of the floor, and then you can walk your hands back a little bit, a couple of inches, and then see, can I press my hands down towards the floor and press the heel of my hands onto the floor. If you can't manage that, just be on there, or if you've got some blocks, you might have some blocks handy. You can always raise the floor up a little bit, like so, or you can even turn the blocks like that, or you can turn the blocks like that. You can stretch your hands that way. That way we can press our shoulder blades in. We can lengthen the spine, stretch the tailbone back. So whenever we're bending forward, we want to try and keep the back as straight as we can. There is a natural curve in the body, in the spine, in the lower back and upper area. And then gradually over the weeks, we can begin to press the hands down, and then hopefully one day you might even get your hands on the floor. If you can begin to walk your hands back until the heel of your hand starts to come off. That's where you need to work, that's your maximum. You may be fortunate enough to get the heel of your hand right down to the outside of your feet. Excellent if you can do that. All the time, take deep breaths in and out through the nose. So let the muscles around the shoulder blades totally relax. Let the back of the neck soften, so the back of the head can soften, no tension in around the neck area. And then let the lower back muscles relax. Try and relax the abdomen, so let the tummy muscles relax. And as you relax the tummy muscles, you can feel the spine get longer, more elasticity into the spine as we relax the tension around the abdomen area. Nice deep breaths in and out as we go. And then we'll stretch the arms again. Bring your thumb in contact with index finger, stretch your arms away from you, and then slowly come up. So come out the same way we're into the pose, come all the way back up, really stretch the arms up, take the arms all the way up over the head, and then you can turn the palms out, and then slowly bring the hands back down by your side, and you can slowly step the feet together. Again, see if you can try and stand up, keep that open in the chest. So when we start to walk around, we might feel naturally that we keep the chest open, and that's the correct position. We want to maintain that, not this. We don't want to slouch. We want to be proud. Yeah, remember the days of ain't half hot, mum? Show them off, show them off. So. Right. So we're going to do a good old favourite next, Adho Mukha Shavasana. So we're going to kneel down. We're going to place our hands onto our mat, shoulder width apart. First of all, start with your middle finger in the centre, and then spread the rest of your fingers wide apart. So create space between all of the fingers with the middle finger in the centre. And then squeeze the air out from the palms Okay, I'm just going to pull this table back because that's getting in the way a little bit. So squeeze the air out from the palms and then take the knees hip width apart. So your knees should be in line with your hands, and then tuck your toes under so your middle finger is in the centre. So if you draw a straight line from your middle toe right the way through the centre of your knee, through the centre of your wrist, should join up with the middle fingers on your hand on either side. Now at this point, take a breath in, and then as we exhale, try and stretch the crown of your head away towards the front of the room, and then stretch your tailbone back behind you to the back of the room. So this stretches the two muscles either side of the spine. Let the abdomen totally relax. So as you relax the tummy muscles, you can feel the lower back muscles relaxing, and you can feel that you get more elasticity in the spine. Now lock your elbows, inner elbows facing towards each other. Then we'll take a breath in. As we exhale, we're going to press down on the hands and begin to straighten the legs. Stay as high onto the toes as you can. So I generally find my little toes come off at this point, but I'm stretching up on the other 4 toes, stretching my heels up as high as we can, and then trying to work my chest towards the thighs. So press the shoulder blades in towards the front chest, stretch the top of your head towards your hands, and then keep trying to lift your hips up as high as you possibly can. Take a breath in. As you exhale, stretch your heels down towards the floor. Now try and squeeze or lift your inner ankles up. Keep your toes all pressed down towards the floor. Stretch the back of the legs. So from your heels, stretch your legs all the way up the back towards the buttocks. And press your thighs back as far as you can. Keep trying to stretch up. And then try and stretch your heels down towards the floor, working the shoulder blades in towards the front chest. Taking deep breaths in and out through the nose. So feel the tummy muscles totally relaxing. Feel the lower back muscles relaxing. Feel the shoulder blades pressing towards the front chest. We're trying to work our forehead towards the floor as we try and stretch our heels down. Let's do a bit of shirt management here. It's all collapsing down. So work the chest towards the thighs. Really press your knees back as well. Deep breaths in and out through the nose. So as we slowly stretch the spine, our heels will go lower and lower towards the floor, and slowly the head will start to work towards the floor. Okay, and then we'll come down. Now when we come down, take the knees apart, join your big toes together, and then first of all sit onto your heels. Now if you've got your phone blocks nearby, you might need to grab those. Now, rest your buttocks onto your heels and then slowly walk your hands away from your knees. As you walk your hands away, keep your buttocks in contact with heels. And if you start to feel they come off at any time, that's probably the maximum where you should be going forward. As long as you can keep your buttocks in contact with heels, you can try and stretch the hands forward. Squeeze your outer ankles in, so don't let the ankles roll out. Squeeze your outer ankles in so your heels come directly under your buttock bones. Now at this point, if you can't get your forehead down onto the floor without overextending the back of the neck, you can take some foam blocks and you can just rest your forehead on there. Don't worry if you've got 2, 3, 4, 5 blocks, or you need to turn the block on its end. It doesn't really matter. The important thing is keeping the back nice and straight. You don't want to overcurve the spine. If you're fortunate enough, you can stretch top of the head down towards the floor. You can stretch the hands away from you. Try and work your shoulder blades in towards your front chest. Let the abdomen relax in between the thighs. And then just as you breathe in and out through the nose, take deep breaths in and out. Feel the lower back muscles totally relax. Feel all the tension releasing from the base of your spine. Feel the muscles soften around the face. We haven't closed the eyes, so we want to focus our attention on our work at the moment. We close the eyes at the end in relaxation. But we want to try and feel that we stretch and relax the two muscles either side of the spine. Release the tension. Deep breaths in and out through the nose. Okay, and then we're going to come forward, and then we can just kneel down onto our heels for a moment and just take some nice deep breaths in and out through your nose. So just take a few moments in between just to stretch and open the chest, open the shoulders. Just let the muscles relax, especially the spine where we've been stretching. Deep breaths in and out. Okay, so the next pose we're going to do is Urdhva Mukha Shavasana. So we're going to do dog head up this time. So what we'll do is we'll place our hands towards the front of our mat. So the same as we just did for dog head down, with the middle finger in the center, rest of the fingers spread wide apart. Then we can just stretch the legs back behind us, tuck the toes or be on the tops of our feet, and just rest onto our hands like this. See if you can straighten the legs. So see if you can press your thighs up towards the ceiling, but draw your outer shoulders back and press your shoulder blades in towards your front chest. So try not to do this action where you bring your shoulders forward. We want to draw the shoulders back, and then feel that we press our tailbone down in towards the floor, but feel that we lift the thighs up towards the ceiling. So we feel more of a stretch this way through the tummy muscle area, the abdomen area, trying to stretch up towards the chest bone. But again, relax the lower back, relax the abdomen. Okay, and then we'll just come completely face down, and you can just rest your head onto your hands and turn your head whichever side you feel most comfortable. When we do the pose in a minute again, remember which side you've turned your head, and then on the next side I want you to turn your head the next way. So just remember which way you've turned your head for now. Doesn't matter which way you've gone. So just take some deep breaths in, and every time you breathe out, feel you relax the lower back muscles. Let the abdomen totally relax. Deep breaths in and out. So feel the abdomen relaxing now. Feel that you're becoming more and more relaxed. Okay, and then we'll place the hands at the sides of our chest. So spread the fingers wide apart. Be onto the tops of your feet. Now squeeze your outer ankles in at this moment in time and draw your thigh muscles up. Now as you draw your thigh muscles up, you should feel that nearly all of your legs have come off, and you're probably just resting somewhere onto your hip bones. Just lift your head up off the floor, take a breath in. As you exhale, begin to press down on your hands. Lift your thighs up off the ground. See if you can press your tailbone down towards the floor. Try and draw your upper body, your chest bone up towards your chin, but draw your outer shoulders back and press your shoulder blades in towards the front chest. Squeeze the air out from the palms, lock the elbows, and work the legs. So the legs should be nice and straight. So you're pressing your thighs up towards the ceiling, your knees up towards the ceiling. You're trying to stretch your tailbone down towards the floor. Deep breaths in and out, and then we'll slowly come down. And then we'll just turn our head to the opposite way that we just turned it the last time. This just helps to keep the stretch even on both sides of the body. So just take deep breaths in and out through the nose. Let the lower back muscles relax. Let the muscles around the shoulder blades relax. Deep breaths in and out through the nose. We'll just take a few more deep breaths in. Breathe in and out. Okay, and then we're going to do one more. So place the hands at the sides of your chest. First of all, just be onto the tops of your feet about hip width apart, and then draw your thigh muscles up. As you do that, you should feel you hopefully just balancing more on your hip bones now. Now, lift your head up, look forward, take a deep breath in. As you exhale, begin to press down on your hands. Now press your thighs up towards the ceiling, press your tailbone down towards the floor. So try and draw your upper body through your arms. So you draw your shoulders back, tops of your shoulders drawing back, press your shoulder blades in towards your front chest. Look up towards the ceiling if you can, but take deep breaths in through the nose, back out through the nose. Lock your knees. Okay, and then slowly come down. You can turn your head whichever way you feel comfortable again. And just spend a few moments relaxing, letting the shoulders relax, letting the lower back relax. Taking deep breaths in and out through the nose. Okay, and then when you feel ready, come up from there. I'm just going to have a quick glug of water. So some of you may have worked out what might be coming next. We're going to try and put all those poses together now in a little jumping routine, just to give you a little bit of aerobic exercise. Okay. So we'll start from the back of our mat, first of all. And we'll join our big toes together, join our heels together, stand up nice and tall. So stretch the arms down by the side. So we're going to do the first pose, which is Urdhva Hastasana. Draw the outer shoulders back, stretch the top of the head up towards the ceiling. Take a breath in. As you exhale, we'll swing the arms all the way up this time. We won't stop halfway. Really stretch the fingers up towards the ceiling, lock the knees, draw the thighs up, take a deep breath in. As you exhale, then we're going to bend forward. And we're going to see if we can stretch the hands down towards the floor. If you can't stretch the hands down to the floor, then you can now bend your knees. So you need to get your hands at least flat onto the floor. Okay, and then we're going to walk the hands forward towards the front of the mat. Take the feet apart and come into Adho Mukha Shavasana. So work the shoulders in towards the front chest. Try and lift the hips up as high as we can. Stretch the heels down towards the floor. Then we take a breath in. As we exhale, we'll swing the body through, so keeping the hands on the floor, and then turn onto the tops of the feet, and we come into Urdhva Mukha Shavasana, so dog head up. So draw the outer shoulders back, look up towards the ceiling, press the thighs up towards the ceiling. Okay, and then we'll take a breath in. As we exhale, we'll turn back, come back into Adho Mukha Shavasana. Okay, and then we'll take a breath in. As we exhale, this time we'll jump the feet forward and we come into Uttanasana. And then we'll come up nice and tall into Urdhva Hastasana. Okay, that's one. We're going to see if we can just do that a little bit quicker now. Okay, so we'll step back again. Okay, so take a breath in. As we exhale, we're going to breathe in, exhale, come up into Urdhva Hastasana. Take a breath in as we exhale, come forward into Uttanasana. If you can't get the hands on the floor, then bend your knees so you can get the whole of your hand flat on the floor. Take a breath in as you exhale, walk the hands forward, come into, take the feet apart, come into Adho Mukha Shavasana. So stretch the heels down. Take a breath in as you exhale, go forward, come into Urdhva Mukha Shavasana. So really press the thighs up towards the ceiling, stretch onto the head up. Take a breath in as you exhale, come back into Urdhva Mukha Shavasana. Take another breath in, jump forward, come into Uttanasana, and then come back up into Urdhva Hastasana. Lower the arms. That's a bit too slow, wasn't it? Let's do it again. So just a little bit quicker now. So take a breath in as you exhale into Urdhva Hastasana. Inhale, exhale, come into Uttanasana. Inhale, exhale, walk the hands forward, come into Adho Mukha Shavasana. Inhale, exhale, come forward into Urdhva Mukha Shavasana. Inhale, exhale, come back into Adho Mukha Shavasana. Inhale, exhale, come forward into Uttanasana, and then back all the way up again. Okay, step back, lower the arms. One more. So take a breath in as you exhale into Urdhva Hastasana. Inhale, exhale into Uttanasana. Inhale, exhale, walk the hands forward, come into Adho Mukha Shavasana, take the feet apart. Inhale, exhale, come forward into Urdhva Mukha Shavasana. Inhale, exhale, come back into Adho Mukha Shavasana. Inhale, exhale, jump forward into Uttanasana, and then for the last time, come all the way back up, and then slowly lower the arms. And you definitely might need a drink now. Hope everyone's all right, unless you're all sitting there just watching me do it. Whew. Right, let's find the glasses. Okay, right, you will need your 4 foam blocks, and we're doing Supta Baddha Konasana, so we're going to go back in Baddha Konasana. You might need, if you need a higher lift, you might need some extra pillows or support to go on this, but you take your blocks and place the first one on the mat and then the second one behind it, and then the next row of blocks we're going to start about 1 inch or so back, inch to 1.5 inches, and then place the blocks on top. Then you can take the blanket, and I'm just going to free fold my blanket, so I shall fold it in third one way and then back on itself the other way into another third, and then I'm going to place that onto the top of my mat. Now I'm just going to turn the mat around so you'll be able to see this sideways on. Right. You'll also need your belt, so if you've got your belt handy, or a belt, loop your belt. So we've got the belt looped. Oh, didn't do that very well, did I? Right. So to loop it goes underneath the buckle, over the top of the buckle. You think I've never done this before, right? And then that should be nice and locked now. So you need to sit yourself in front of your blocks about 6 to 8 inches away. It all depends on the length really from the base of your spine. We're going to rest our lower ribs on the edge of that blanket, hopefully. And you can just sit, draw your feet together and let your knees drift down towards the floor. Now I'm going to take the belt over my head, bring the belt low over the hips. Now, make sure the buckle goes to the left and the right of your feet, because we don't want to be pulling on the buckle. And then we should hopefully got the end of the belt, and we should be able to pull on the belt and tighten the belt up and bring our feet in as close as we can. making sure this belt is low down on the waist. We don't want it high up there. Make sure that is as close as we can, and then see if we can draw our knees down towards the floor. Now to go back, we're going to slowly go back. When we go back, feel that we get this extension from the abdomen area towards the chest bone. So create that space, lift up, press your shoulder blades in towards your front chest as you go back down onto one elbow, then onto the other elbow. And at this point now, hopefully you can feel the edge of the blanket, the edge of your top block, around your lowest rib. And then feel that you stretch your head back and rest your head. Now, if you feel your head's tilted back like that, you can turn the end of your blanket over, or it might be difficult to find another block at this point, but if you had another block hand, you could place that underneath. But generally, if you tilt the end of your blanket under, that will give you that extra support. The important thing is the chin remains level, the shoulders can release down towards the floor, and then we can let the knees drift down towards the floor. Try and feel you stretch your tailbone away, so you might want to lift your buttocks up and stretch your tailbone away from you, and then create this space from your navel area towards your chest bone. So we've got to stretch your chest bone up towards the chin. Arms just resting onto the floor with the fingers gently curling. Deep breaths in. And, and out through the nose. Try and keep the length of inhalation the same as the exhalation. So keep breathing in normally. If you feel you're short of breath, just come back to where you feel comfortable. Now, as you begin to relax in the pose, you can feel the knees start to drift down towards the floor. So you can feel the groins relaxing, feel the muscles in this area. So we want to stretch from the groin area down towards the knees, but all at the same time, draw your thigh muscles towards your waist. So as you stretch your knees down towards the floor, relax the abdomen. Let the tummy muscles totally relax. And as you relax the tummy muscles, you can feel the lower back muscles totally relax. Deep breaths in and out through the nose. Feel neck muscles relaxing, muscles around the shoulder blades releasing. Release the tension down through the arms, all the way down towards your fingertips. And gradually, as you release the muscles in the groin area, you can feel your knees slowly drifting down, closer and closer to the floor. Now you might find you're also aching a bit, which is quite common when we start off in yoga, but after a year or two that disappears. So just keep taking some nice deep breaths in and out from the nose, and you should find as you begin to relax, your knees are getting closer and closer towards the floor. So all the tension and stress that you build up through tensing these tummy muscles, we just want to let the whole body go. So we just do one more deep breath in and out. So now to come out of the pose, we want to try and come out the same way as we went in. So we don't want to collapse or invert the chest. So we have to press down onto our elbows, press down onto one side more than the other. Try and keep the chest lifted so that when we come up, we keep the spine erect and we keep the whole of the upper body straight. And then see if you can release the buckle on the belt. It's easier said than done. Right. And then once you've released the belt a little way, hopefully you can then slide the belt over the front of the feet and then you can remove the belt, and then you can slowly just stretch the legs away from you and just sit up nice and tall. For a moment, you can just have a little breather while I check my list. Okay. I should have mentioned, hopefully you've all got a chair handy, or if not, if you want to go and grab a chair now, we're all going to do your favourite pose, boat pose. So I'm going to place my chair onto the edge of my mat. Then I take my blanket. I'm going to place my blanket onto my pad like that. I'm going to keep it in half so I've got a bit of support. And then we'll need to unbuckle our belts this time. Okay, so we want a full length belt. So we just want to sit in front of our chair. We want to be seated onto our buttock bones. So pull your feet in, grab your shins first of all. Now when you grab your shins, use that to press your shoulder blades in towards your front chest, and then try and lift your chest bone as high as you can up towards the top of your knees. Hopefully someone will get the phone. Right. So lift the chest up, and then we're going to raise one leg. So we're going to raise the right or left leg, doesn't matter. Your calf should rest just onto the edge of your chair, and then bring your other calf round. Try and join your toes together. Take your belt, and then place the belt around the centre of the feet. And then with the hands going through the fingers, so we don't want to grip the belt around our fingers, so it should go right completely through the hands. Just lean back a little bit. And as you lean back, press your shoulder blades in towards your front chest. And try not to do this pose where we let the lower back collapse. We want to lift and stretch up from the lower back. Stretch the head up. Lock your knees. Press your thighs down towards the floor. Taking deep breaths in and out through the nose. Now, the more you press your thighs down towards the floor, the easier this pose becomes. But you'll probably find in the early days they'll vibrate like mad. Your abdomen will vibrate like mad. But draw your toes towards your head to really stretch your heels away from you. Deep breaths in and out through the nose. And then you can slowly bend your knees, bring your feet back onto the floor. So in the early days, a good way to practice is with the chair. I know some of you probably don't need it now, but we always like to start off that way, build a way up. Now, if you feel that you can remove the chair, you just put the chair to one side. And then this way, to do it without the chair, we again do the same thing. So we grab our shins, hug the shins, lift our chest up as high as we can, and then just roll back on the buttock bones till we lift our feet up off the ground, get the balance on our buttock bones, and then take the belt, place the belt around the centre of our feet. Now, keeping your knees together, take a breath in. As you exhale, just slowly raise the legs up. So stretch into the belt, straight arms, lock your knees, press your thighs down towards the floor, and then try and stretch up. So stretch out from the base of the spine, lift the chest bone up, deep breaths in and out through the nose. So the trick again is really press the thighs down towards the floor. Okay, and then slowly bend the knees, slowly bring your feet back down onto the floor, and then you can just stretch the legs out. Just take a few moments to relax. I know that's a difficult pose, isn't it? Again, we start by using support, practice. If you find you'll keep going back, especially in the early days, you can always take your blocks and place your blocks behind your back. You need to just make sure they slope back a bit, just to give you a bit of a chock. That can sometimes work as well, just to help you. or the other way is to lean back so your shoulder blades are just pressing to a wall, and then see if you can raise your legs up. That can be a little bit more difficult doing it that way. And then eventually we can try without any support whatsoever. So once we get to a certain strength, we can do it without the belt. Same action. So we draw the thigh muscles up. So you can use the chair, you can use the belt, or you can try it without. We stretch up, lift the chest up as high as we can. Lean back so we just balance onto the buttock bones. Then we're going to raise the oars of the boat, and then slowly take a breath in. As we exhale, begin to straighten the legs. Keep the feet together, toes together, knees locked, thigh muscles stretching down towards the ground, and then try and press your shoulder blades in towards the front chest. Deep breaths in and out through the nose. This is good for working the abs. If you want that beach holiday look, this is the one to practice every day. Okay, and then slowly come down, and then just take a few deep breaths in and out through the nose. I've got what I had on my list. Got memory like a sieve, mate. Right. Right. I'm going to turn my mat back this way. I'm going to unfold my blanket. Completely onto my mat. And then I'm just going to use one block to sit on, but have as many blocks as you feel necessary to make sure you get the lift in the upper body, and just have your belt handy as well. We're going to do Parshva, what it's called. Yeah, Parshva Baddha. So we're going to take the legs wide, first of all. Now when we take the legs wide, make sure the heels are in line and the toes are pointing up towards the ceiling, and your knees are pointing up towards the ceiling. So if your knees are turned out or your feet are turned out any time, that means your hips are turned out. So then that puts undue pressure on your lower back. So that's why we're always looking to see knees, feet are all in one straight line, all pointing up towards the ceiling. Then we can take our belt. First of all, we're going to place the belt around the outside of the right foot. Okay, and then we're just going to grab the belt in the right hand down there. From here, sit up nice and tall. So stretch up nice and tall. See if you can take your legs a little bit wider apart, and then we're going to turn our chest round to face the left foot. Okay. Again, make sure where the knees are going, feet are going, you're not pointing out to the side. Then we're going to take a breath in. As we exhale, keeping the chest facing round towards the left, begin to bend the right elbow and see if we can draw the right elbow down towards the floor. Bring it somewhere maybe to the inside of our left knee. So keeping the chest facing forward, stretch up from the base of the spine. Then we take a breath in. As we exhale, raise the left arm up towards the ceiling. Then take another breath in. As you exhale, try and take the left arm over the head. So you're going to try and look up in front of your left arm, and then you're going to try and touch the toes with your left hand, but keeping both feet pointing up towards the ceiling. Take nice deep breaths in and out. Stretch the toes towards, on both feet towards your head. Stretch the heels away from you. And then see if you can try and turn to look up at the ceiling from in front of the left arm. Okay, and then slowly come back up to centre. Release the belt on the right foot, and then we'll stretch and place the belt around the left. Okay, and then grab the belt this time just in the left hand. Sit up nice and tall. Take a breath in. As you exhale, turn now so your chest faces towards your right leg, towards your right foot. Look at both legs again. Check that both feet are pointing up towards the ceiling, both knees pointing up to him. So really press your shoulder blades in towards your front chest, and then take a breath in, maintain that action. Begin to bend now your left elbow, and try and bring your left elbow to the inside of your left knee. But always try to keep your chest, you're facing towards your right foot. Take a breath in as you exhale. Now raise your right arm up over your head. So your right arm should be cutting back behind you. Press your shoulder blades in towards the front chest. Take another breath in as you exhale. Now begin to take your arm over your head. You're going to try and touch the toes on the left foot this time, but try and cut your arm back and see if you can look up at the ceiling from the front of your arm. Keep both buttocks in contact with the block, so don't roll just onto the left. Keep the stretch even on both sides. Taking nice deep breaths in and out through the nose. Look at the feet, make sure both feet are pointing up towards the ceiling. Nice deep breaths in and out. Okay, and then slowly come back up to centre, and then you can bring the feet back together. So we'll do one more pose now before we do some relaxation. So we're just going to do Paschimottanasana, the best pose you can do to get a good night's sleep. So make sure you're seated towards the front of your blocks, knees pointing up towards the ceiling, feet pointing up towards the ceiling. Draw the toes towards your head and stretch your heels away from you. Okay, then take your belt, place your belt around the centre of your feet. And then with straight arms, we're going to pull on the belt. And as we pull on the belt, try and feel we burst our chest through the upper arms. Press the thighs down towards the floor as you stretch the heels away from you. So there's a lot of work going on in the upper leg area. These are the muscles we use to support the upper body. Take a breath in. As you exhale, see if you can walk your hands a little further down the belt, but then pull on the belt. Again, press your shoulder blades in towards the front chest. Stretch from your base of your spine, the muscles all the way along your back up towards the top of your head. Take deep breaths in, let the abdomen relax, lower back muscles relaxing. Then if you can, see if you can keep walking down the belt. If you get to a point where you can't maintain that action of pressing your shoulder blades in and stretching the spine, you'll probably work at your maximum. If you can, if you're fortunate enough, you can stretch down and grab your feet. You can then begin to bend your elbows out to the side and begin to lift your elbows up towards the ceiling. Now at this point, probably the back of the knees, you might scream like mad. The important thing is we want to be trying to bring our abdomen somewhere over onto the tops of our thighs, and then the chest towards the knees, and eventually the aim is to rest the forehead onto the shins. I've been doing it 30 years, I still can't get it right. So annoying. Now, remember to breathe, deep breaths in. So really lift the inner elbow, the elbows up towards the ceiling. Bend the elbows away from you if you're grabbing your feet. If you're pulling on the belt, then yeah, it's the same action. Pull on the belt. We want to try and lengthen the two muscles either side of the spine. Important thing is breathing. Deep breaths in and out through the nose. So hopefully you might feel that you're lengthening the spine, you're going that little bit further forward, even if it's only a couple of millimetres. Abdomen nice and relaxed, back muscles totally relaxed. Feel the tension easing out of the base of the spine. So just practice this if you can, if nothing else, just before you get into bed every night. Just do this for 2 or 3 minutes. Stretch the back, stretch the spine, stretch the back of the legs. Then get into bed, just do your Shavasana relaxation, and then hopefully you might drift into the best night's sleep. you might have ever had. Okay, and then we'll slowly come back up to centre, and then we can put something warm on, or if you're already warm, ready for relaxation. So again, remember to three-fold your blanket. I fold my blanket back in half. Now I'm going to fold it a third one way, and then fold it back on itself another way, and then place that onto my bed. So I'll just turn it down this way. You might want a block handy, just in case you need to put that under your head for a bit of extra support. So when you lie back, we want the lowest rib cage to rest just on the edge of the blanket on the support, and then slowly stretch one leg out at a time away from you. Join your big toes and heels together first of all, and then just let the feet fall out to the side. And then make sure the spine is rested nice and straight on the mat, and then arms away from the body, back of the hands on the floor, and the fingers just gently curling. And when you lie back, if you find your head is tilted back because you're stiff in the neck, you can take a block. You can either place the block underneath the blanket, so we soften that, or you can place it on top, whichever you feel comfortable. And that should keep the chin nice and level. So our chin should be stretching down towards the V-shaped area in our chest bone. Back of the hands on the floor, fingers gently curling. Just let the feet fall out to the side, and then focus your eyes towards your chest, and then just close the eyes. Let the eyes rest in the sockets, but focus towards your chest. And just take a normal breath in through the nose and back out through the nose. Very slowly, each breath, try and increase the length of breath in, but don't go too dramatic. We want to do it in a very slow, gradually controlled way. So on your next breath, slightly longer breath in, and an equally longer breath out. And as you breathe out, feel that the abdomen area totally relaxes and softens, the lower back softens. And then working our way through our body, we can relax the facial muscles across the face. We can feel the skin softening across the scalp. And then we can feel the muscles going down into the tops of the shoulders, releasing. And as we relax around the tops of the shoulders, we feel the weight of the arms, tops of the shoulders release down towards the floor. And then feel the muscles relax around the shoulder blades. Feel all the tension release from around the shoulder blades and along the spine. Feel the muscles either side of the spine relaxing and releasing all the way up through to the top of the head as well. So we don't need to use any muscular effort to relax. Every so often, increase the length of breath in and an equally length of breath out. And then come down to the abdomen area, the tummy muscles. Feel the abdomen totally relax. And as you feel the tummy muscles relax, you can feel then the muscles around the base of the spine, the lower back, into the pelvis releasing and letting go. And as you relax those tummy muscles, you can even feel the thigh muscles relaxing. Feel all the stress release with every breath you breathe out. And then as you breathe in, You feel full of life and new energy as the breath invigorates the body. You feel totally alive again with the new breath. And then your body absorbs all the oxygen, takes the energy it needs back into the muscular system. And then as you breathe out, the whole body relaxes with every breath you breathe. So Shavasana relaxation is also learning another pose, another method to relax the body. And with every breath, the leg muscles relax, the lower back legs, around the knees, the shins, the calves, eventually all the way down towards your toes. Feel yourself sink deeper and deeper into relaxation. And I'm just going to be quiet now for a few minutes and just let yourself concentrate on your own relaxation. Okay, let's come out of relaxation. Still keep your eyes closed for a moment. And just slowly bend our knees. And then we'll just gently roll over onto our right hand side. Just keep your knees together, your feet together, and your spine in one straight line. So your left shoulder should be over the top of your right. And then keep your eyes closed still. We'll gently roll over onto the left. And then begin to slowly open the eyes. Take some of the light in that's in the room. And then when you feel ready, always slowly come up from there. Okay, I'm just going to stop the recording.